Testing, 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 making sure the mic is on. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Note. It is Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me today and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen, click on that white logo, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel. Like our videos, really helps the algorithm. Really do appreciate it. Comment with any of your questions. We're more than happy to help you guys. Good morning. Let's talk about the market, shall we? Short week this week. Yesterday was Dr. Martin Luther King Day, federal holiday. The next holiday will be George Washington's birthday. Used to be President's Day, or is President's Day now. Used to be George Washington's holiday. Sorry, I had that backwards. So we get another day off next month. I believe that'll be in about 4 weeks. So again, sit back, be comfortable. Let's make it a great week. All right, let's talk about it. Dow futures down 287 points. A lot of that is Goldman Sachs. They reported earnings today. We'll go over that here in a second. Nasdaq's down 1.44%. S&P futures down 0.93%. Russell 2000 futures down 0.75%. 10-year yields, that's the name of the game here. Remember, we always talk about yields. 1.825%. The dollar is up 95.45 is the current level. The VIX is up to 21.56. So again, a spike in yields do hurt. Crude oil futures are up 84.69 per barrel. Again, we've been staying bullish on oil for a while now. So again, our target is $100 a barrel, and then we cut. So we're long XOP. $2.45 for gasoline futures, up 1.28%. Gold is up slightly, 0.13%, 18.18 an ounce. Silver futures, 23.54 an ounce. And then taking a look at Forex, euro dollar is down 28 pips, 113.78. 114.58, pretty much flat for the dollar yen. Ethereum down about 5% on the futures side, 31.39, and 41.595 for Bitcoin futures, down 3.53%. As you know, crypto does trade 24/7 regardless of holidays. So let's go and talk about this market right now. Let's go stick with the technicals first. First thing I want you guys to look at here is really this last Monday's lows, 45.75. We haven't broken that yet, so really can't say much here. The last thing we want is that if you go short here, you get caught up on a bounce. So again, all we're doing here is really focusing on the technical patterns. Look at NASDAQ, same thing, 151.99. That hasn't been broken yet. So let me see if I have what alert this is. Below 45.17, I got that. Below 44.01, I got that. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. Let's go and place an alert right around 45.77. That'll confirm a breakdown, but right now we're just hovering. And at the end of the day, when I go short here, probably not. I do have some unusual options activity that I had for Apple, and I do have that, the 170 puts. But again, we'll see where that comes from. It's hovering right above that. But last time, which was Friday, we did bounce very strongly. So we'll see what happens there. Goldman Sachs did report earnings today. Let's go over it. Goldman Sachs EPS $10.81 versus the estimate $11.64. That's a miss. Net revenue did beat, $12.64 billion versus the estimate $12.01 billion. Trading revenue $3.99 billion versus the estimate $4.27 billion. Equity sales and trading revenue $2.12 billion, estimate $2.5 billion. That's a miss. Fiscal sales trading revenue did beat, $1.86 billion versus $1.80 billion. Investment banking revenue $3.6 billion versus $3.07 billion. So again, a miss on EPS, a miss on revenue, a miss on trading revenue, a miss on equity sales, but fiscal sales and investment banking did hit. So that's where we are in terms of Goldman Sachs. That's why they're down pre-market. Again, the EPS miss. Again, Goldman Sachs was technically cheap on the PE level metrics, so that's not something that we really focus on. Do I think Goldman Sachs is worth a buy here? I do own it. It's one of our top 10 stocks of 2022. It's trading at 364 now. I would say right around 351.88 is a level that I want to go ahead and add more to some Goldman Sachs. I do love owning this company. Pays a great dividend. It's a great company. Obviously, they just did miss on their earnings. But again, in terms of earnings, I'm not really worried about the financials because all of them took a hit in terms of reporting except for Wells Fargo. Really, the only one I'm really looking for are these high valuations, growth stock tech names. Those are the ones I'm really focused on. Financials are already cheap as it is. So again, if you're playing yield and you expect yields to go higher, financials are going to probably be the ones you want to get into anyways. But again, a lot of people are focused on tech. A lot of people are holding these high growth tech names. Again, that's the valuations we want to confirm. Big report today was that Microsoft is going to buy Activision Blizzard ATVI for more than $50 billion in its largest acquisition by far to grab a video game heavyweight that has been rolled by claims of workplace misconduct. Activision shares soared 37% on report that they will be bought, and Microsoft expects the deal to acquire Activision to close in fiscal year 2023. So what else is going up with it? EA Games up 7%, Take-Two Interactive up 3.6%, Zynga up 1.8%, Roblox up 6%. What does this tell me? Again, when it's a bad market, when we're very, very pessimistic and there's a bear market, you don't get a lot of mergers and acquisitions. You usually just get companies that are they just file for bankruptcy or something like that, and then they get scooped up on the cheap. Microsoft is paying how much now? How much are they paying? $50 billion. And you could see, with that being said, 37% jump in Activision stock. That doesn't sound like something that we're heading into recession when you get large companies, smart companies like Microsoft with tons of cash on their balance sheet, great management is saying, hey, Activision is a great company. We think we could do it better. But what does this tell me? Metaverse. That's what's telling me. Microsoft is taking that next step into Metaverse. Why not go for one of the largest gaming companies in the United States? Good idea. Remember, they bought Xbox way back. They created Xbox, and that's been doing okay. Obviously, it's not a PlayStation 5. It's not Sony. But again, Microsoft has been doing an okay job. So as a Microsoft shareholder, I approve of this because Call of Duty has been really pissing me off lately. And I made a joke today. Call of Duty Vanguard was so bad that they had to sell the company that Microsoft will save us all. So there you go. A little Tuesday morning fun. Let's take a look at some pre-market movers together, and then we'll get straight with the Q&A. Let's see it. Let's see anything here that I know. Unilever is down 9.9% pre-market. Excuse me. Let's take a look at the Dow. What's moving down? Apple down 1.34%. Goldman Sachs down 4.41%. Excuse me. JP Morgan down about 1%. Chevron is up. Visa is up. Microsoft is down 1.5% after this report. But again, you could see that S&P was down anyways in terms of futures, so that took a hit. Nvidia is down 1.5%. Tesla down 2.2%. Marathon Oil 1.5% up. Even Ford is down 0.77%. Let's see. Lucid Group down 2.42%. AMD down 1%. And JD.com 2.97% even though they're working with Shopify. They're working with Shopify on, I believe, a pad. Let me see here. I had it here. Let's see. Here. I had here the news in terms of Shopify and JD.com, if I can find it. I had it here. Okay, you know what? Let's just look it up. Shopify and JD.com. Here we go. Shopify steps up China expansion through e-commerce giant JD.com. Shopify has partnered with e-commerce JD.com to help U.S. merchants sell goods in China. You would think JD.com would be up. It's not. JD will open accredited channels for brands on Shopify to begin selling in China. Will handle price conversion and logistics from U.S. to China. And I don't know if you did read our Twitter over the weekend. China did cut rates. Their retail sales were down. They're trying to spur investment. Alibaba is down 4.3% pre-market. U.S. examining Alibaba's cloud unit for national security risks. Not the best. Peloton is working with consulting dupe McKinsey & Co. to review its cost structure, which can entail layoffs and store closures. One employee tells me morale at the company is at an all-time low. Peloton not doing well. I would expect for Peloton, as someone who owns a Peloton bike, I actually like it. The only thing is that the company they spend too much money, and you could see how much they're down. $30 now a share. Look how much they were up, $166 at their peak on the 1-year chart. So there's an upside gap, but again, as everything is at an all-time low, if you buy Peloton in terms of the stock, you're understanding that, hey, it's pretty bad out there. So if you're trying to get a stock that's a little cheap on that side, we'll take a look at the PE ratios when the market's open, when we get the correct pricing. Then we can go from there. But let me see exactly Peloton's financials currently. There is no PE ratio. That's how their earnings are not done. But yeah, their financials are not great at the end of the day. So if you do decide to buy a Peloton in terms of the actual stock, you understand that it's high risk at the end of the day. So I wouldn't touch it. I've been saying that to a lot of people. I wouldn't touch it. A lot of people say, "Oh, should I buy it? Should I buy it?" I mean, I own the bike. I don't own the stock. So just be careful with Peloton. But that's where we are this morning. Let's answer some questions. Key levels for DWAC. Let's take a look at it. DWAC is the SPAC that's going to create the social media platform for former President Donald Trump, 7242. It looks like it wants to break out above 75. So that's pretty much the key level for me. Hey, boss, for a small options account, how tight would you recommend a stop? I would go with your stops based on technical patterns. That's how you want to do it. So again, moving averages will give you the stop level that you want. But again, I wouldn't go by a certain figure, because if you say, oh, 50% is the where I cut, why don't you just cut the position sizing? That'd probably be best off. Happy Tuesday. You probably heard the good news. Microsoft's coming to rescue Activision. Your thoughts? I love the move. I think Microsoft will fix it up with all the stuff. Their corporate culture is one of the best out there, as I've read when it comes to Microsoft. It's so funny. I was playing Call of Duty last night, and it was freezing all over. It's almost like someone new. So Caldera was terrible. Vanguard is terrible. I'm tired of Call of Duty with Treyarch. They're terrible. They need to stick with Modern Warfare, their cash cow, which works, because all that other stuff is terrible. And it's just sad that I do love the Battle Royale format. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, just stay away from World War II. That was years ago. We always keep doing the World War II thing. You know, give me the Korean War. Switch it up. Do Vietnam if that's the case. You got to switch it. It's always World War II. And I don't want to buy Vanguard. And their numbers were horrible for Vanguard because it's a crappy game. I played the multiplayer. It's terrible. But if you stick with Rebirth Island and you stick with, what was that old map that they had? It doesn't matter. The old map, I missed that old map. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. What ticker chart do you use to track bonds? People are saying that bonds are flattening and there's a crash imminent. That would be TLT. That would be the great place to trade, to track bond prices. And you could see on a year-to-date chart, it is breaking down, obviously. 153 is a breakout level. Breakdown level you would see is probably right around 140.37 or so. But again, TNX is the way to track the bond yield. So again, if we go bring up here TNX, again, this is the 10-year Treasury yield. This is what tracks it. I have it on a daily chart. 1957 is a big level, right around 2%. We are breaking out. That means bonds are breaking down. We'll see what happens. But again, financials, industrials, materials, they're going to be the ones that are going to benefit. The value names, they're going to benefit from higher yields. Why do tech stocks fall when yields are higher? It's not when the yields are higher. It's not like, Apple can't survive with 0% interest. It doesn't work that way. The problem is the velocity of rates moving higher. That's the problem. But long term, when the Fed actually hikes rates, tech does better long term. I mean, we've seen that. So you're going to get a little bumpy ride here and there. Even the seasonality, I went ahead and sent that out on Instagram. You're going to get a bumpy ride towards the end of January, and then February, mid-month, you should get stronger. Right after March is where it gets interesting, where you start getting a little bit of a rise. So again, it's a short week, guys. No need to add risk where you don't need to add risk. Take it easy. It's a short week. You see where you go from there. But again, I'm watching yields. I'm watching the dollar. I'm watching the VIX very closely. Calls for SPY. Thanks. Let's take a look here. And again, with SPY, we haven't broken down any meaningful levels. I do want to break 467.59, but really the level to break down is right around 452, and we're not there yet. So again, futures look pretty ugly today, don't get me wrong, but it's not broken yet. We have to revisit those Monday lows. So here's this. If we revisit the Monday lows and we bounce last Monday's lows, if we bounce, that's pretty bullish. But if we break down, then we're going to start hitting up December lows where we had that breakout. We'll just go ahead and retest. We'll be at 45.20. 4,400 is your level that you're watching. If you're holding cash right now, 4,400 is the level you're looking for. That's a nice correction level. Again, I've been saying we are going to get a correction this year. We have to get one. If we do, that's an opportunity to buy the dip. I will be. Thought about Nvidia entry price. Well, with Nvidia, again, I own the shares. If you're looking for an entry price, I say whenever makes you happy. But again, a good level here. See this breakout level right here, 222.82? That'd be great if we can get down there. With a correction, possibly. But right here, you're right at the 100-day moving average. So again, not a terrible place to buy on the daily. What about Upstart, SoFi price for long? I own both. Let's take a look at Upstart. Upstart, I'm waiting for $81 to reload. If you want to go and buy that, that's fine. I don't own SoFi, my apologies. But $12.03 shouldn't be a bad level to buy SoFi if you wanted to. Microsoft for calls. Well, Microsoft is down pre-market, mind you. So again, calls first thing in the morning wouldn't be the best. there is a gap to fill right at 310. So I would wait for 310 to break 310.34 or so. If you can break that, then we could possibly get back to 320. But again, when Microsoft is spending money to acquire a company, the first initial reaction is the stock goes down because that's cash coming out. That's still a purchase. Obviously, you're getting assets for it, but that's still a purchase. Microsoft has already informed their shareholders that there's not going to affect their share buyback problem. Keep in mind that they have a lot of money, and this is something that we want as shareholders. We want Microsoft to actually deploy their cash instead of just stacking it up. So again, this is I welcome this. I like this as a Microsoft shareholder. So we'll leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your morning. GARcapitalfx.com is the website. I'll be live blogging on Twitter, so make sure to follow us, GAR Capital on Twitter, and we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your morning, guys. Cheers.